Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are getting into something that honestly trips up so many people trying to get fit. It's this really fundamental confusion between weight loss and fat loss. Now, maybe you're putting in the work, training hard, trying to eat right, but you look in the mirror, or maybe the scale just isn't moving how you expect. Well, chances are you might be chasing the wrong target. Our sources are pretty clear. Getting this difference isn't just like semantics. It really is the key to actually changing your body long-term versus just dieting forever.
Oh, absolutely. It's a massive game changer. Most people just toss those terms around like they mean the same thing. And well, that mix-up often leads straight to frustration, sometimes even messing up your metabolism. So our mission today is pretty straightforward. Define these two things clearly, explain why focusing only on the scale number can backfire badly, and then crucially lay out the 3 absolute must-dos to switch your focus to actual fat loss and, preserving that important muscle mass.
Okay, perfect. Let's dive in. Let's start right at the beginning with the definitions. When we talk about weight loss, just that number going down on the scale, what are we actually talking about? What does the data say?
Right. So weight loss, in the simplest terms, is just your total body mass decreasing. And here's the kicker. That mass includes everything. Yes, body fat is part of it, but it's also muscle tissue, water weight, glycogen stores, that's the carbs stored in your muscles and liver, and even, the food working its way through your system. It's totally non-specific.
Yeah, and you see that a lot, right? Especially when someone starts, say, a low-carb diet. There's often that big, fast drop in the first week. Our sources mention this. It's often just the body getting rid of stored glycogen, which holds a lot of water. So that initial whoosh isn't really fat, is it?
Exactly. That's a perfect example. For every gram of glycogen you store, your body holds on to about 3 grams of water. So yeah, you can easily drop, several pounds just in water weight almost overnight by cutting carbs drastically. That's why the scale number can bounce around so much. Fat loss, on the other hand, is super specific. It means you're actually shedding adipose tissue body fat while, and this is key, while you're actively trying to hold on to or maybe even build your muscle.
Okay, and that leads us right to the big consequence, the danger zone. Why is it so risky to just chase that scale number down without thinking about what you're losing?
Well, what's really fascinating and kind of crucial here is the role muscle plays. Muscle isn't just for lifting things, it's metabolically active tissue. It burns calories just existing even when you're sitting still. That's your resting metabolic rate, your RMR. Now, if you go into a really steep calorie deficit, especially without the right kind of exercise signal, which we'll definitely get into, your body kind of panics, it sees muscle as, expensive tissue to maintain and starts breaking it down for energy right alongside the fat.
So you lose muscle.
Exactly. And if you lose, say, 5 or 10 pounds of muscle just to make the scale number drop faster, you've effectively just slammed the brakes on your own metabolism, your RMR goes down. Now you burn fewer calories at rest, which makes it incredibly easy to regain weight later, even if you feel like you're eating reasonably. Fat loss, because it aims to keep the muscle, helps maintain or even boost that metabolic engine. That's what changes your body shape and gives you that toned look everyone's really after.
Right. So chasing weight loss without care can actually make it harder to stay lean in the long run because you're damaging your body's furnace, essentially.
Precisely. It looks like progress on the scale, but metabolically, it can be pure self-sabotage.
Okay, that makes total sense. Which brings us perfectly to the next big thing, the scale itself. People get so attached to that number. We really need to hammer home that the scale is just one tool, definitely not the main goal, and frankly, it kind of lies to you, like multiple times a day. And this is where the stats we looked at get really eye-opening. We're not talking small fluctuations. We're talking potentially huge swings day to day that have almost nothing to do with actual fat loss or gain.
Yeah, the evidence is really consistent on this. An average person's weight can swing easily 1 to 3 kilos, that's about 2 to 6 pounds, within a single 24-hour period. Just think about that. You could have a perfect week, totally on track, feeling great, but maybe you had a salty meal Sunday night, you step on the scale Monday morning, and boom, you're up 3 pounds.
This is from water retention.
Purely water retention, or maybe it's just the volume of food still in your system, or for women, where they are in their menstrual cycle, that massively impacts fluid levels. So getting worked up about a number that's dictated by, how much salt you ate or your last bathroom break, it's just a recipe for feeling defeated and wanting to quit, especially since motivation tanks the second that number goes up, even if you're actually making amazing progress underneath it all.
Okay, so we need to gently guide people away from that scale obsession. If that number is so unreliable day to day, what should we be tracking instead? What are the better, more meaningful ways to see if we're actually losing fat and changing composition?
Right. We need metrics that reflect real physical change. Number one, definitely how your clothes fit. That's huge. Is your waistband looser? Does that shirt hang differently? Are you needing a new notch on your belt? That's tangible proof the scale might completely miss.
And performance, right?
Yeah,
What's happening in your workouts?
Absolutely critical. Tracking strength and performance is massive. Are you lifting a bit heavier than last month? Can you do more reps with the same weight? Maybe your rest times are getting shorter. If you're getting stronger while you're in a calorie deficit, that's basically the gold standard. It means you are preserving or even building muscle while dropping fat. That is successful body recomposition, period.
Progress photos, too. People often dread taking them, but wow, they can be revealing.
So revealing. They show changes the scale literally cannot measure. You won't see more definition in your shoulders or your stomach flattening on a scale readout. And then there are the subjective things, but they matter. How's your energy? Are you sleeping better? How do you just feel moving around in your body? These things, combined, paint a much, much clearer picture of genuine progress than just that one fluctuating number.
Okay, brilliant. So we've cleared up the confusion. We know the scale isn't the boss, and we have better things to track. Now let's get practical. What are the actual strategies, the three non-negotiables we need to implement to make sure we're targeting fat loss specifically? Let's kick off with strategy number one, strength training. It's not optional if fat loss is the real goal. And we mean actually challenging your muscles.
Exactly. The why here is quite mechanical, really. When you lift weights, especially things like squats, deadlifts, presses, rows, those big compound movements, you send a very clear signal to your body. It's like saying, hey, this muscle, we need it. It's important for survival. Protect it. So even if you're eating fewer calories, that signal tells your body to preferentially pull energy from your fat stores instead of breaking down that valuable muscle tissue to get energy.
And like you said, it doesn't have to be a fancy gym setup, right? Resistance bands at home, some dumbbells, even intense bodyweight stuff works if it's challenging you.
Totally. The key is the challenge, the stimulus. If you're not regularly asking your muscles to work hard and adapt, your body just assumes, okay, I guess we don't need this much muscle mass right now, especially in a deficit, and it'll start sacrificing it, which again slows down that metabolism we talked about.
Okay, makes sense. Strategy number two then. Ditch the extreme diets. We need a moderate calorie deficit. That whole lose 10 pounds in 10 days crash diet thing is a trap, isn't it?
Huge trap. Crash diets are basically the fast track to muscle loss.
Like,
why? Because severely slashing calories triggers like an alarm bell in your body. Cortisol, the stress hormone, spikes. Your body goes into survival mode.
Yeah.
And what does it want to conserve in survival mode? Energy reserves like fat. What's expensive to maintain? Muscle. So start shedding muscle really quickly.
Right.
Instead, what the sources consistently recommend is aiming for a smaller, more sustainable deficit. Maybe, 300 to 500 calories below what you need to maintain your weight. It's slower, yes, but it's way better. It lets you keep your energy levels up, which you need for those strength workouts. It helps you maintain performance. And crucially, it ensures most of the weight coming off is actually fat because your body isn't panicking. It's about consistent pressure, not sudden shock.
Slow and steady wins the fat loss race, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, strategy number three brings in diet and recovery, prioritizing protein and getting enough sleep.
Yes, both absolutely vital. Think of them as protecting your assets during the deficit. Protein is literally the building block for muscle. When calories are restricted, bumping up your protein intake gives your body the materials it needs to repair muscle tissue after workouts and reinforces that signal. Keep this muscle.
Protects the muscle you have.
Exactly. And sleep. Sleep is huge for hormone regulation. Two key sets here. First, your appetite hormones, ghrelin, which makes you hungry, and leptin, which makes you feel full. Skimp on sleep and ghrelin goes up, leptin goes down. Result, you're hungrier, have more cravings, making it harder to stick to your calorie goal. Second, and just as important, sleep manages cortisol. Chronic high cortisol from lack of sleep, too much stress, or even overtraining directly tells your body to break down muscle and hang on to fat, particularly belly fat. So yeah, sleep is non-negotiable for recovery and hormone balance.
Wow, okay, so it really paints a picture of fat loss being about smart strategy, protecting your body, not just punishing it with endless cardio and starvation.
That is exactly the takeaway. It's strategic, it's consistent, it's about working with your physiology.
Which leads us perfectly into the final piece, the mindset. If we accept the scale is flaky, we absolutely have to learn to celebrate the non-scale victories, the NSVs.
Yeah, connecting this to the long game, the danger is so clear. If your only measure of success is that number on the scale going down, what happens when you inevitably hit a plateau? Which everyone does. Or worse, what happens when the scale actually goes up a pound or two because you're successfully building dense, healthy muscle?
Right, which is actually a massive win.
A huge win. But if you're only looking at the scale, you see it as failure, and your motivation just evaporates. You might even quit right when things are actually going great physiologically.
So the shift has to be towards things you can actually see and feel.
Absolutely. Staying motivated for the long haul means celebrating that you added 5 pounds to your squat, or that you can now run up the stairs without getting winded, or that your energy levels are way better, or that your reflection in those progress photos is changing shape. The whole mindset needs to shift to, I'm training for strength, for health, for life, not just I'm dieting to hit a magic number on the scale. That number is just one tiny, often misleading piece of data.
Okay, fantastic. So let's wrap this up with the core takeaway. The big difference everyone needs to remember. Weight loss is just the total number going down: water, muscle, waste, fat, everything. Fat loss is the real goal for most people. It's about strategically changing your body composition, keeping that vital muscle, protecting your metabolism, and getting those visible results.
Exactly. And that leaves us with a final thought, really a question for you, the listener, to chew on. If you now know that the scale can jump around by, say, 2 to 6 pounds in a single day, just based on water and food, and you also know that getting consistently stronger is the clearest sign you're actually improving your body composition, well, how much more of your valuable time and mental energy are you willing to spend obsessing over that unreliable scale number? Maybe it's time to shift that focus to tracking the things that truly matter: your photos, your measurements, your energy levels, and yeah, those reps and weights in your training log. Which metrics are you going to track starting this week?